Hi there.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Flying Frog video. Today we have from Big Radials the Grumman Goose, which appeared on the marketplace this morning for $37.45 on the marketplace, which is approximately $27.50 American and around about €25. So what we'll do is we'll get in, we'll have a look at this one and just have a look. Now the detailing looks really nice. The modelling so far that I can tell looks really good. The graphics look clear, nice, sharp. The rivets look fairly good. Paintwork looks good. So let's just hop down around near the wheels here. It's a good judge. Now, the weathering looks fine, don't have a problem with that. We're just looking at this, it looks like it's out of focus, so it's not quite right. But never mind, you know, we can't expect perfection, can we? But apart from that, it looks pretty good. Now, I will say that you see the wheel here. When we get inside, you can actually have covers go over those wheels, which, to be honest with you, for a military aircraft I wouldn't bother with, but if it's a civilian one, yeah, you could easily do that. So it depends on your taste. So what we'll do is there's a bit of weathering there, which is really good. What I should do actually while we're here is just pop up and have a look at the engines. See how detailed the modelling of those is. Now this is an air-cooled motor, which I kind of expected to see fins on an air-cooled motor. So I don't know if that's 100% accurate or not, but I suppose, you know, a lot of air does go in there and maybe it doesn't need the fins to keep it cool. But apart from that, the detailing or the modelling of the motor itself looks really fine. So I think you guys are getting the idea at the moment that this one's actually not too bad. I actually think it's a little bit ahead of the Widgeon itself. You know, the rivet line, the graphics are not pixelating on my 4K screen, so which looks really good. So what we'll do is we'll hop on inside now and we'll have a look at the cockpit itself. Will include a little bit later, as we taxi on out, the liveries for this aircraft. There is also another version of this one as well, which comes with skis, which is all orange, which I'll include a photo of that as well with the liveries. So what we'll do is we'll hop inside. Okay, here we are. First things first, we have a hatch that opens and obviously closes. Now the door, which is open, which does close. As you can tell, we can close that. We can open it up and go in there and have a look. So what we'll do is we'll go in and have a look at the passenger area. Doesn't carry too many passengers, and as you can see, it's rather spartan in here. So we'll just come on down. Now there is a room at the back which does open up, which carries some of our cargo. And I don't know what it is with toilets these days, but people seem to be putting out toilets on planes. This door opens and we also have the ladder here, which then goes on the outside. which is nicely done. So it's a little bit of extra. So yeah, now let's get all that back inside. Close the door. Now, if you guys are wondering how I'm actually wandering around here in the cabin, I'm actually using my Xbox controller and my mouse as well. So I hold down the right button of the mouse and the left joystick of the controller. Then we have cabin lights, which we can turn on and off, but I don't have any battery hooked up at the moment. And as you can see, medical kit and some gauges up the front. So what we'll do is we'll get into the pilot seat and we'll get her started, because there's a couple of other little goodies which I want to show you. First things first, we also have down here a little goodies box which comes out, and okay, that's our GPS and squawk box. Now here we can add, we can make our yokes disappear if we want to, so like that. We can also change the yokes to leather. We can also stow our ladder. There's also a fishing chair with a fishing rod that goes on the wing. We also have an anchor, and we also got our water rudder control as well. And this one here is where we put the hubs on. So if you're running a civilian aircraft and you want hubs over the wheels, it'll just put the hubs over. So, alright, now let's get this one started. Right, what we'll do is we'll close the door. Batteries on. Generators. Fuel to both. Now, apparently we can leave the crossfeed as is. So fuel taps on for each of the motors. Now this is our hand pump, which we will need to come back to in a second, but I'll show you that in a minute. Magnetos to both. Okay. Mixtures all the way to rich. Now this does have a variable pitch prop, but we just leave it feathered or on 0 pitch at the moment. Okay, now we will need to, what we need to do is just behind here, the throttles, is this gauge here. We need to bring the fuel pressure up to approximately 3 psi. So we come back around here, give that one a 1. One more for good luck. Yeah, she's up there. Okay, let's just crack the throttle a little bit. It's a bit hard to see the button at this angle. Anyway, clear prop. Oh god. There we go. Rightio, so that fuel setting. Okay, put our throttles around 50%. Okay, we'll start the right one. Clear prop. Seems to take a while to catch. There we go. Right, lesson learned on that one is make your throttles approximately 50%. that way we get started. Fantastic. Well, I was sweating on that. Now this one is a little bit involved to get started, which is quite good. I like that. I like the fact of bringing in a little bit of extra modelling into it. Right. So what I'll do is I'll taxi on out to the end of the runway for a takeoff. While I am taxiing, I will be showing you the various liveries. Okay, rightio, I'm not going to use any flaps for takeoff on this one. Everything should be fine. Now we do also have rudder trim as well. Actually, what I will do is I'll turn on some lights. Go wait. All our light switches are here, so when I do actually show you what it looks like at night as well, which I will be doing when we take off and I get going, just that way I don't have to worry about turning them all on. Now she will have limited functionality with overhead lighting is here as well, so we can just turn this one here. Now also too, while I think of it, we also have, but it doesn't come up, but we got aileron, elevator and rudder trimming as well here, which is really good. And we've got another rudder trimming right there as well. Sorry about that, I've been eating a little bit of Easter egg. Okay. So, make sure that our proppers comes up to full pitch. So don't forget that. I did taxi without any pitch on the prop, so as you can see, she taxied quite nicely. Lovely sounds. She's coming up. Just a little bit of rudder input. Tending to wander a little bit. Pull back. And away she goes. Gear up. Nice sound with the gear. What I'll do is we'll be heading on out over Lake Illawarra, which is close to here at Shell Harbour, and I'll be doing a water landing so you guys can get to see that, and also too I'll be doing the stepping outside. Now she is a bit sluggish as such, but then again she's a big draggy bird, so and that's to be expected. Now let's just drop the pitch back. Beautiful. Love the sound. The sound of this is just really, really nice. And at the moment, you know, she's trimmed out fairly nicely, gentle, nothing too nasty at all. She's quite a gentle bird. Bit slow to get your manoeuvring going, but once it gets going, she'll swing on over, so which is really good. Now what I'll do is I'll just trim her down a bit because I don't want to go too high to do, because I will be doing a water landing. And so what I'll do is while I'm flying around, I'll pop on outside so you guys get a look outside while we're flying around. Okay, while I've got some height, I'll just show you the manoeuvrability from behind. So as you can see, generally then too, while just before I was flying hands off, as you see, she's sluggish but does respond. And so what I'll do now is I'll just do a stall test. So set her a little bit. Let's just drop back the throttle. She goes, she's just dropping the wing. Nothing terrible at all. So let's just help her recover. Now what I'll do is I'll do a power stall test. What I'll do is I'll head back actually towards the, so I can do a water landing as well. Here we go. Power stall test. Just again dropping the wing. Nothing nasty. Nothing nasty at all. So, as I really expected, generally a lot of these things fly really, really well. So what we'll do now is we'll go land on the water. So you can just see the water effects, and I'll see you down there. Okay, here we are at Lake Illawarra. So what we'll do is we'll land on the lake. It's actually not really a lake, it's a more of a, it's an inlet, because it does have access to the ocean. However, that's not for me to decide on what to call it. So what we'll do is I'll just put in some flaps. Stage 1, stage 2. So now this is going to be difficult to see because it's quite glassy, but I'll do my best. So I'll stick close to the coast as such. Anyway, it's going to be a little bit easier. But she does respond well to coordinated turns. So for those who don't know, coordinated turn is using your aileron and rudder to make your banking turns as well. So if I really can get down, let's just bring around a bit because you're getting too close. Come a bit parallel to the coast. Righty. Cutting that one a bit fine. Terrible. Here we go. Oh, bounce. What? She's skipping along quite nicely. I like the effects from the water, and there we go, the floats have just started to touch down, and look at that, that looks good. It looks realistically as well. I like the bubbles, the way the whole thing looks good. I like it. So what I'll do is I'll do a water takeoff, and then I'll go and do a landing takeoff. So once I've taken off, I'll come back as we land in at an airport. Okay, here we're going to go do a water takeoff. I'm not going to use any flaps on this one. We'll just see what it's like. So, and I'll stay in a third person view for you. She's come up on the aquaplane really quite quickly actually, and she's basically flying. There you go, slight pullback. There you have it, she's off in the air. Now it's with no flaps. Okay, granted it is a bit glassy water, but yeah, okay. Alright, well I'll see you when I'm lined up to land on the runway, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, here we're about to line up. So as soon as we should be getting the airstrip coming into view very shortly. There it is. Okay, gear down. Flaps. First lot of flaps. And we seem to be losing a bit of height relatively quickly. Now she's a bit sluggish, so I think you have to be pretty precise with your lineup. So just be mindful of that. She doesn't move side to side terribly quickly. Second lot of flaps. So far so good. She's coming in nicely. A little less throttle. The drag from the props. She doesn't want to settle down though on the wheels. She just wants to keep flying for a bit. Come on baby, down you go. Here we go. Touchdown. Small bounce, but on the whole not too bad. Okay. What I'll do now is go to the parking spot, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So here's the nighttime lighting, which looks quite good. As we can see, the panels all light up very nicely. So I think flying this one at night will be worthwhile. And also too, I have found one other thing which I will open up. Well, I'll show you guys. I'll make it all daylight and I'll come back and I'll just show you one little extra feature which I just didn't realise until just now. Okay, there is some advantages to going back to things. I did find one other little feature and I probably have missed something else, but this pilot side window opens. So what we do is we undo the pin here and slide the window open. Now that's fantastic as well. So there we go. More features in this aircraft than I realised. The big Radials Grumman Goose, $37.45 on the Xbox Marketplace. Do I regret buying this aircraft? No. Do I think it's worth $37.45? Yes. I think that there's enough work done on it to warrant that type of price. As a matter of fact, she's a little bit cheaper than the, I think it's the Fly Simware Widgeon, which there are flight differences. This one's a little bit more gentler, but the Widgeon does have a full-on GPS, which is a lot easier, but this one has other things going for it as well. Its modelling is very good. Graphics are very good. Doesn't have bad flight handling at all, and it's something that's completely different. Is it for everyone? No, it's not. I think that some of the younger crowd may not like its absolute sedate nature. However, if you want to do flying around Alaska, all the island hopping, things like that, this is a good one for it. So hopefully I've covered everything. It's been a long drawn out video, this one, just trying to get everything right. The starting had me befuddled for quite a while, and then it was only whilst in this video that it dawned on me that you could have around about 50% throttle for it to start. So if we keep that in mind, go through the steps that I went through and use 50% throttle, we should be okay. I'm going to test that out a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can also come up with a reliable starting method as well. It's like the Lightning, you know, once you've got that starting procedure down pat, it's definitely a fun aircraft. And I do like the challenge of starting up cold dark starts on these aircraft. So yep, on that note, please like, comment, subscribe and stay safe.